George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation, celebrating people we feel good about. It is he, the impresario, the executive producer. I call him Frankie, baby. Frank Malfitano was in the house. Syracuse Jazz Fest is back, bigger and badder, June 21st to June 25th, 2023. And the good news is that I will probably be in town that weekend. Yes, finally. Hallelujah.
All right.
But so this is great. It's you got a new title sponsored, National Grid. Talk to me, Frank. Let's go.
Really excited, George. You know, last year the goal was just to bring Jazz Fest back because it hadn't happened for 4 or 5 years. And so this year we wanted to, now that it came back last year, and I think people saw enough and had a great time, and we had a lot of legends there, and it was a great turnout. The weather was great. So, you know, people jumped on board earlier this year, and some new folks came on board. And so we were able to ramp it back up to get back to where Jazz Fest used to be. And I'm real excited about it.
You've got Herbie Hancock and Gladys Knight, Spyro. Did I say that? Spyro Gyra.
You said it right.
Tower Power. Wow, this is, you got it, man. This, first of all, let me just say, Gladys Knight, I love Gladys Knight, okay?
We all love Gladys Knight.
You know, I actually interviewed her once, my own little Gladys Knight story. I actually interviewed her. She talked about, she had wrote a book, and her son, get this, Frank, here's the connection. Her son was running the station out in Vegas, KC Power 88, right? Las Vegas. And that was a show that Inspiration for the Nation ran on for 5 years. So, you know, she's like my godmother.
Look, you know, we really caught her at a great time. I mean, Gladys is somebody I've wanted to have at Jazz Fest for a very long time, but we haven't been able to line up our schedules, right? And you know, so I mean, I reached out last year. She wasn't available. She was in Europe or something. And I said, okay. So we tried this year early on because we had the support from National Grid and Amazon, Syracuse University. So a lot of your friends and my friends from back in the day are on board. Melanie Littlejohn is a key player this year. Sydney Johnson at Syracuse University is a key player this year. Without them coming on board, without the state of New York coming on board, without the county of Onondaga coming on board, without Visit Syracuse, Danny Liedka, I mean, these are the Price Chopper. These are the people that made it all possible. So we reached out to Miss Knight and extended an invitation, and she said yes. And that was right after she got, or right around the same time she got the Kennedy Center honors. And Lovely. Then a couple of weeks ago, the president gave her the National Medal of Freedom. So it's, talk about perfect timing.
Right? Yeah.
And anytime you get Herbie Hancock, Academy Award winner for Round Midnight, 14-time Grammy winner, NEA Jazz Master. I mean, we're talking Watermelon Man, Chameleon, Rocket, Maiden Voyage, Wandishi. I mean, played with Miles. I mean, it's Herbie Hancock, man.
What was this song when I first became aware of Herbie Hancock? Was it Chameleon? What song was this?
Probably Chameleon, or Cantaloupe Island was the other one that was famous.
Yeah, it goes like this. Dun, 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 dun. Which one is that? I can't remember.
That's it.
Okay, yeah. That was my first introduction to Herbie Hancock when I was a kid, right? Now, that was a long time ago.
Picture this, George, my brother. Here we are in Clinton Square. It's Friday night. Tower of Power has just finished their set, and out comes Herbie.
Right.
And hits it with that.
Right. Listen, that's it. No, this is great. And you've expanded, right? So I love this. So you got Herbie Hancock. Well, first of all, let's start with Wednesday night, because Wednesday night, I want to call it Pop-Up Wednesday. You go here, you go there, you go here, you go there, and you're going to get a little concert somewhere. So let's talk about Wednesday, the first night, June 21st.
Yeah, that's Price Chopper Market 32 opening night. And we got 26 bands in 24 venues downtown, all over Salina Street, Armory Square, everywhere downtown, man, right around Clinton Square. I mean, it's really going to be fantastic. It was really a hit last year at Jazz Fest. We had something like 15 clubs and 18 groups last year. This year we got 26 groups in 24 different clubs, and it's every place from the Fitz and Oh My Darling and Funk and Waffles and you name it, all the places that people, Al's Wine and Whiskey Lounge, Clinton Street Pub. We'll be at the Host Hotel at the Crown Plaza, at Redfields, and also in the Waylock Lounge. So, I mean, we've got a night of music that begins at 4 o'clock. No door, no cover, no minimum, no nothing. It's all free, thanks to the sponsors, and it's fantastic. I mean, and we got the best of the best playing.
And when you think about that, that's amazing. New Orleans can't even say that they do this. I mean, right?
Well, look, I'm proud of our festival. I think we stand alone, man. I think we're a unique festival because we're a unique city, and I'm just thrilled with this new model, and I'm thrilled that everybody's participating and everybody wants to be a part of it, and it's really great. And I mean, it's the first time, George, I think in 37 years, truthfully, that I've been able to really successfully integrate with this model, successfully integrate the great talent we have. We now have a suitable showcase for people like Ronnie Lee and Mike Houston and Sam and the Longwood Jazz Project and Vince Watson. I mean, this lineup is pretty sensational, man.
And those the names that you just mentioned, for people outside of Syracuse who might stumble upon they're not going to stumble upon it. They're going to find it, who are watching this video or listening on the radio. Those last few acts that you mentioned are Syracuse folks, many of them, right?
Yes, they're all Syracuse folks,
right,
or they're people that have gone on to the national level who are returning to Syracuse.
Yes.
Like Marissa Mulder's coming in from New York. Joe Magnarelli's coming in from New York to play with Eric Alexander and Tom Brigandy. Nancy Kelly is coming back to town. So, I mean, yeah, it's very cool, man. It's very cool. And the talent here is great.
Yeah, and you've done everything. You've done a lot to make sure that the local talent has been showcased. And the thing is, I know this is an interview, but I'm gushing because, Frank, if I haven't said it yet, here's what I want to say. Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Because you have made sure that this music and the heritage and its roots have been celebrated in this community. And so I just want to pause and say thank you for that, because that is a feat in of itself. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you for that. Okay? Just wanted to stop and pause and do that for a minute, my brother.
I'm very grateful, and I'm very honored that you call me an impresario, because you know the difference between a promoter and a impresario, right? Is a promoter makes money. An impresario does it for the love of the culture. I have believed for the last 60 years that I've been exposed to American heritage music, and in particular African-American heritage music. I've been a preservationist and a presenter, and that's what I try to do. I love this music. I love the creators of this music. To be able to present them free in my hometown is like a huge honor. It's a blessing I'm not sure I deserve, but I have been blessed. To have artists like Dizzy Gillespie and Sonny Rollins and Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin. I mean, it almost brings me to tears, George. I mean, these are my idols. These are my heroes. These are the greatest artists that ever lived. And I think ticket prices are so completely out of whack now.
Oh my God. We're going to see Beyonce. Tell me about it. Okay.
Well, and that's great. And I'm glad you are, but a lot of people can't afford to do that.
Right.
And the fact that we as a community can make this festival affordable, and especially to people, the very people who created this music, to shut them out to not give them an opportunity to see Gladys Knight and Herbie Hancock. I mean, this has a very special resonating quality for a lot of people in the community, people of color in particular, but also all of us who grew up with this music and love this music and love these artists, to be able to see them for free. The coolest thing for me, and you know this because you and I have talked about this, on that night, when we look up at our stage in Syracuse, New York, and we see Gladys Knight, that's the only place on planet Earth that is happening.
That's right.
We own that. We own the night. And that makes me feel great. Like when we won the national championship in men's soccer at the university, I was so proud that night. I'm always proud of Syracuse, you know, but when Jazz Fest rolls around, man, I feel like it's real reunion time and a real homecoming time. And everybody comes back and everybody loves one another and the vibe is cool. And you don't have to be worried about bringing your kids or how people are going to act. I mean, it's just mellow, you know?
No, it really is. And so then, and of course, I'm looking at, as you were talking, I was thinking about the 40,000 people on the campus of Onondaga Community College.
It's off the hook.
With Riri, okay, Aretha Franklin. I mean, I know you've had a lot of great moments, but I know that has to be number one.
Well, she tore it up.
Okay.
She tore it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the traffic was backed up down to Nedrow. I mean, you know, I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
No, that was a special moment. There's no question about that. Because I marched with with Aretha with Dr. King, and that's when we first met. And then when I went to Detroit to run the Detroit Jazz Festival at Music Hall, her father used to preach in Music Hall when his church was under renovation. So we got reacquainted, and I presented her twice a year there on Valentine's Day and at Christmas. And so I got to work with Miss Franklin 17 times. I got to go into the studio, got to see her rehearse the band. I mean, you know, we got to be great friends, and that's a treasure that none of us will ever forget.
So Jazz Fest, June 21st to June 25th, headlining on Friday night, Herbie Hancock. Let's talk about Thursday real quick.
Thursday's hip, man. We got a new stage outdoors at Hanover Square. Syracuse University, a student jazz ensemble called Orange Juice is coming back in just for that gig. And then we got a group coming in from Vienna, Austria that plays gypsy jazz, Harry Stoika and Acoustic Drive. And he's the son of, it's a very Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli, very cool, timeless classic, right? And he is the son of a Roma gypsy who was imprisoned by Hitler during World War II. And his father's dream was for him to come to the States and play. He's a brilliant guitarist. And then we close the night out with an all-star jazz septet with Vincent Herring on alto, James Carter on tenor, Dave Kakowski on keyboards, Paul Ballenbach on guitar, who played with Joey DeFrancesco for many years, and Randy Brecker on trumpet, and Essiet on bass, and Jeff Tane Watts on drums. So I mean, that's just going to be nuts, crazy.
So we have, that's Thursday, Friday, Herbie Hancock. Saturday night, neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Gladys Knight as your headliner. Who else we got on Saturday night?
Is this your way of telling me goodbye, George? The interview's over.
Not yet. We're gonna. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you to Sunday. I'm gonna get you because I think that's really special. And this Sunday's program is new. Let's talk about Saturday, and then we'll get to Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna open up on Saturday at Clinton Square with the SU Faculty Jazz Ensemble. And then after that, a great group from New Orleans, 8-piece band, sit down Preservation Hall type band, but all young cats, women, men. It's great, man. It's a great group. It's called Tuba Skinny, and they are fantastic. And then Spyro Gyra is coming out. They're hitting their 50th year in the business, man. They're selling out worldwide. And then Gladys closes out that night.
All right. Now, the new thing. Syracuse University on the campus, a jazzy, gospel-y. Talk to me.
I'm really excited about this. Now, it's still a work in progress. It's happening for sure. We're going to be at Hendricks Chapel. I'm not sure the start time yet, but I know we're going to have the Syracuse University Black Celestial Choral Ensemble. And also, there's a connection with an HBCU in New Orleans. Someone from Syracuse just went down there to take over, I think, the presidency. And he's at Dillard University in New Orleans, and the Dillard University Gospel Ensemble is going to come up from New Orleans to Syracuse. I mean, it's just the perfect bookend for the festival, man.
It really is something for everybody. I know. I as I'm thinking and I'm talking to your boy, your right hand man, Oscar Peterson. I know that that this legacy certainly. He was part of this legacy with you as well.
We were very close, man. I mean, he was president of my board and my best friend, and you know, he was at Jazz Fest right up until he passed. And you know, I don't know what to say. I hope he's proud of me, and I hope we've lived up to his expectations for the festival.
So let's talk about it. Syracuse Jazz Fest, June 21st through June 25th. Something for everybody. Venues downtown. Clinton Square is going to be hopping. Hanover Square. All the clubs in and around. And then we cap it off on Sunday at Syracuse University. Herbie Hancock Friday. Look, I know people are going to zoom in on Herbie Hancock and Gladys Knight, but there's a whole lot more going on.
Don't miss Tower of Power. Don't miss Tower of Power and Postmodern Jukebox in front of Herbie, because these would be headliners at any other festival.
Exactly.
They're not opening acts. They're sharing the bill with him that night, man.
Thank you.
And I can't even tell you, because I told Herbie's management that I would not spill the beans on who he's bringing. But watch out. Watch out, man. He's got some heavyweights. I could tip my hand here, but I can't, George.
You just can't, huh?
He's got people coming in as big as it gets.
All right, SyracuseJazzFest.com, Frank Malfitano, the impresario, Frankie Baby, doing the damn thing. Executive producer, SyracuseJazzFest.com. Free. The National Grid, Syracuse Jazz Fest.
That's right.
Melanie, we're going to give you your props, baby. We got you.
Tell the world. Tell your friends. Tell the world.
Let's go. I got to tell my sister to come up that weekend from New York. Yeah, that's right. Let's go. All right, Frank, good to talk to you as always. Inspiration for the nation.